Okay, we're going to hear from Councilmember Ulrich, whose district covers many of the affected beaches.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mark and Mark, both committees, for holding this important hearing. I represent the district that was perhaps the most severely affected by Hurricane Sandy and the coastal erosion that has happened since. I have not heard from anybody at City Hall for the past year. I've not heard from anybody in the mayor's office. I've not heard from anybody other than my friends in the Parks Department, like Deputy Commissioner Kavanaugh and also Dottie Lewandowski, about what the mayor's office plans to do to combat the fact that my district is now more at risk today than they were prior to Hurricane Sandy. And so I would like to ask a few questions, but I also want to send a message to City Hall, and I want you to take this back to your higher-ups and the people that can do something about this. When Mayor de Blasio comes to Queens to bring City Hall to your borough, because he's done it in the Bronx and Staten Island, he better be bringing a few cubic yards of sand with him and better be reforming Build It Back, because when he comes to Rockaway in my district, he will not be welcome in that part of Queens County. And he still has to be a mayor for my constituents, whether or not they like him, they vote for him, they agree with him. The ocean is eating up the sand and the beach in my district, and the homeowners, many of whom are still not in their homes, are at more risk today than they were the day before Hurricane Sandy. And so please relay that message. I would like a phone call from the deputy mayor or from the mayor himself. I'll be very nice to him, I promise. But I have not heard a damn thing from anybody on the other side of City Hall about what they are going to do to speed up sand replenishment, bring rock jetties or groins or some long-term measure to curtail the erosion that's happening out there. I believe that they are allowing my district to disappear. I think that there's a map of the city in the mayor's office, and the legend for the map is over the Rockaways. It's almost like we don't exist. And so we hear about studies and funding and hearings and all of these testimonies that we hear. What are we doing? We have this 90-day report. Is it going to be made available to the public? Are the elected officials going to be briefed? By the way, it's not for me to speak for my fellow elected officials in my part of Queens, but when I talk to them, and I talk to them on a very regular basis, my assembly person, my state senator, they have not heard anything from the mayor's office. So I'm glad that the mayor's office came here today to announce that they're going to be working with the Parks Department and the Army Corps, and we're going to come up with short-term, long-term, 90-day study. This is all news to me. So I want to know what we're going to do after those studies and those assessment periods are completed. I want to know who is going to be in touch with my office and the community board and the local civics and the people that have been begging for attention, for respect, for sand, for common decency, communication between them and City Hall. Zero. I'm telling you, I can't wait till the mayor comes to Queens. I'm going to be out there with a sign on the boardwalk, and it ain't going to be pretty. So I hope he has a good announcement. I'll praise him. I'll thank him. I'm not going to support him. I'm not voting for the guy, but I will give credit when credit is due. Right now, if I had to grade the city's response to the beach erosion and Hurricane Sandy recovery, F. 0. Terrible job. Absolutely disgraceful. That is my assessment. And I don't need 90 days to do a study to give you that. No, that's not for applause. It just happens to be. Let me ask a few questions. This 90-day study or survey, thank you, survey. What takes you 90 days, I could do in 90 minutes. I could take you to Rockaway right now. It'd probably take 90 minutes to get there. But I could take you there. We'll take the ferry. By the way, thank you for the ferry, but it never should have been taken away to begin with. I skipped that press conference. That was another dog and pony show. I'm going to thank the mayor for giving me something that he should have never took away. That's a topic for another hearing, number one. Number two, when this 90-day survey is completed, what is the rollout of the findings? What is the process? Walk me through. And by the way, when is that 90th day approaching? What is the day? What is the 90th day?
Well, we're going to start the procurement on the on-call consultant probably Tuesday of next week.
Okay, so Tuesday of next week, we're going to hire a consultant, or we're going to start the process.
Procurement process.
All right, so it's going to take more than 90 days, let's be clear.
No.
All right, well, you're going to hire a consultant. I'd like to find out who that consultant is, but that's another story. We're going to hire a consultant to do a 90-day survey. When do we anticipate that 90-day starting, that 90-day period? How long will it take you to hire the consultant?
We believe we could complete the surveying and then the analysis of the survey data in 90 days.
Okay, but
that is our commitment.
But give me a date. Tell me September 1st the survey starts, August 1st, October 1st. Tell me when I can expect the survey to start and when can I expect it to finish. That's what I'd like to know.
I can tell you we will complete it in 90 days. I cannot tell you the day we will be on the beach with the surveyors.
Okay, can you tell me the month when you're going to start the survey? Can you tell me the season of the year that you're going to start? Is it going to start in the summer? Is it going to start in the fall? Are we going to see the Christmas? When is this going to happen? Go. Please.
We expect to begin the actual survey work on the beach by the middle of July, and we expect to have the analysis completed by the middle of September.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you very much.
And I do want to say it is an important step that Curtis outlined in his testimony. We see the erosion. We're not blind. We know where it's occurring. It's important that we quantify the amount that has been lost since the beach was restored by the Army Corps. We have the as-built drawings. We've just completed another analysis, a LiDAR analysis, as Curtis mentioned, that all goes into assessing how much has been lost and where we need to invest whatever we can find to restore those beaches.
And thank you, Commissioner, and thank God for people like you, like Dottie, like Portia, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know anything. Thank God I come to these hearings and I actually read the reports, because I wouldn't know about work the city wants to do in my district otherwise. So when we have this survey completed, thank you for that answer. It's honest and I appreciate it. When it is completed after 90 days, are they going to propose recommendations for action? Are they going to identify sources of funding to do those things? What do we hope to get? What is our hypothesis for this survey? What are we trying to study, and what do we want to get from this study?
We are going to be studying the loss of sand in specific areas, how much is lost, and how much is needed to restore it and prevent more erosion into the dunes that were created by the Army Corps after the storm.
Okay.
And we will prioritize areas based on the results of that analysis. And as I said, we are going to be looking for opportunities to bring more sand to the beach.
Right.
We have the Clean Soil Bank, which we know will be generating sand, whether it is beach quality and how difficult it is to get there. That's one of the potential sources. If other dredges occur within the harbor that can be directed to the beaches in Rockaway, we'll be doing that as well. We've done it before with the Army Corps on several occasions. It's been very helpful to us to have that, but I can't specifically say we have a dredge lined up for this period to deliver that much sand to the beach. But that's what we're going to continue to pursue.
Thank you. That's fine. So, and I accept that, and that's a very honest answer, and I appreciate that. Will the survey or study look at other mitigation measures such as rock jetties, groins, and other things that are more permanent to prevent erosion in the future? Will that be part of the survey?
No, it will not be part of the survey. The Corps has done that as part of their reformulation study. They have what we think is a very sound plan for the Atlantic shoreline that does include 13 new groins, as well as rebuilding 5 existing groins.
Right.
As I said earlier, it will not prevent erosion from occurring. It will slow the rate of erosion substantially over what we are seeing today.
Is there funding in place for the groins, for the rock jetties? And when do we expect that to take place? Or when can we expect that to start, the process?
Right. That would be part of the features of the overall Rockaway Jamaica Bay plan that I mentioned earlier, that we do expect to be funded under the Sandy Recovery Program.
Wonderful.
And could start as early as 2019, late 2019.
Thank you.
Since we have others waiting to ask questions, can we get back to you?
You know what? I will I will yield whatever time, I don't have any time left, but I will yield the microphone back to the chairs. I want to thank you for your indulgence. This is a very important hearing. I know this issue doesn't affect every district in the city, but it absolutely affects mine. I know Councilmember Richards' district is also severely affected by beach erosion, and I'm very passionate because I'm here to fight for my constituents like everybody else, and I don't appreciate it when I'm ignored. When the mayor's office comes to the city council and tells us that they've got a great grand master plan and they don't keep anybody in the loop. Very disrespectful, unappreciated.
We take total exception to that. We've been in the Queens and in your district constantly. We were
Really?
at CB14 on Tuesday night, and my colleagues that are
Great.
with me here today, we've been out in Breezy.
Great.
We're in constant contact, so that is actually a factually incorrect statement
Great.
on your part.
Facts. You want to talk about facts? We'll have another hearing on facts, and I'll rip you and the mayor to shreds any day, any time. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Councilmember. Okay.